Yeah. We get lit, we get fly, we get drunk, we get high, but to the masses, we a podcast called Verified. I'm your host. I am JopauL. We are brought to you by Radio Pushers and Results in No Hype. We are also brought to you by
Yep.
Major Papers. MajorPapers.com. Make sure you go check out the most organic rolling paper on the market, owned and operated by veterans. Make sure you check out their website, MajorPapers.com. Go get a 20-pack for $20 right now. Do not go to the store and just spend $2 on one pack. So you're saving yourself $20 by buying 20 of them right now. Right now, I want to introduce the king of the BAMFs. That's BAMF. You know what BAMF stands for? Badass motherfucker. Okay, we got one of the youngest people ever to non-athlete to sign a Nike contract. He's been in movies with some of your favorite celebrities. You know, people that they say that I look like. Everyone says that I look like Vin Diesel. I'm like, yeah, like I need to gain a little bit of weight to do that. But he was on the Time magazine cover. He's been in video games. He holds a Guinness Book of World Records. I mean, his accolades are endless. So without further ado, my man LUISTRIKZ in the building. What up, baby? What's good?
What's up, man? Pleasure all mine. Thank you so much. The intro was dope, man. You keep it up, I'm gonna kiss you in the mouth. You better stop. Saturday night.
Hey, listen. In a pandemic, listen. I've been lonely, so
anything goes in this pandemic.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Here, I want to first say, man, I'm a huge fan of your work. I know your grind. I mean, we're both, listen, Elizabeth, Staten Island, you know, New York.
Right over the bridge, baby.
Your name rings bells, brother. And in this entertainment industry, especially being in the US, unlike, you know, foreign territories, you got to stay relevant. You're doing a great job, brother. So salute to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, I mean, I respect your grind. You know, I've been watching you for a while. So it's like, you know, when you get some acknowledgement from people that know how hard that grind really is, you know, it means more than just like, you know, you're the regular fan that's just like, oh, I love you, you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? So when it's from, you know, another person, you know, of equal grind, you know, like yourself, I really appreciate that. So, so salute to you, my brother. Salute. So let's jump right into it. So you're like the king of Elizabeth, New Jersey, right over the bridge from Staten Island. I want to get into more of how you grew up, what shaped you into the person that you are. This is more like a therapy session more than like an actual interview. So talk to me about your upbringing. You know, were you born here in America? Talk to me about your parents, you know, what they did. So the floor is yours. Give me a nice picture. Paint me the nice picture of a nice little upbringing in your life.
Yeah, you know, I grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Mom and dad were you know, blue collar workers. My dad came to this country from Portugal at 6 years old. Okay. They met at 18 at a grocery store. You know, back in the day in the 70s, not everybody, or at least, you know, blue collar industry coming from overseas, college wasn't the answer, just getting a regular job, just trying to work. So my parents met at 17 years old, had me at 18. So you already know, and this is going back 1982, no education, no diploma. Mom didn't get a GED. My dad didn't get a GED till they were about maybe 45 or 45 years old. So it was intense growing up. You know, less fortunate than most, but they worked very hard to try to provide for me and my little sister. Put me in a private school. You know, we grew up in a rough area, so they wanted me to stay out of the way and stay away from the crime. And I was in a 4x4 backyard. And my apartment building, you know, in the inner cities, everything is 3 and up. So I had a 4x4 backyard. So I owned most of my dribbling and all the accolades of doing basketball just came from my mom didn't let me outside. So I had a basketball 4x4 little blacktop, and I just dribbled through screen doors, broke a handful, but it ended up paying off, man. I mean, I went to St. Patrick's High School. Played alongside, you know, Al Harrington, Sam Dallenberg, Kyrie Irving. Went to my high school, so it was a prominent basketball school. But after that, you know, you don't got the D1 scholarships. You're not a high school All-American. You're 5'11". Yeah, you got the handles, but you know, back 20 years ago, if you're not 6'8", 6'9", All-American, good luck to you. So I was big in streetball. A buddy of mine, big shout out to Main Event, Wiley Dixon.
Yeah, I had that problem when I was younger. I was vertically challenged, so I was great in basketball. But these dudes that were like I mean, I'm 5 foot nothing. I mean, 5'6", you know, and I'm a decent sized kid. You know, I can hold my own, but I'm not posting up against no one that's 6'4", like 260 pounds of pure muscle. It's like the second I go up to the basket, whoosh, done. You know, I get sunned immediately. So I kind of realized, you know, my vertical challengedness at a younger age, and I was like, okay, maybe basketball is not the thing for me.
Right, right. No, man, it's just, you know, I didn't think, I would play basketball. I mean, I wasn't, you know, I of course, in that era, Michael Jordan was everybody's inspiration.
Of course.
For me, I mean, I saw him beat the shit out of our Knicks for quite some time, but I adapted to a Michael Jordan.
But how great was that when
Man,
when John Starks went right over? I think it was Horace Grant and Michael Jordan, if I remember my history correctly. But when Starks came over and jammed that ball, I remember being a little kid, like, yeah!
All the Knick fans say the same thing. They say that Michael Jordan got dunked on. I like to think differently. So Starks went baseline, turned, dunked on Horace Grant. Michael Jordan came to help out. Now, Michael
He
Jordan
just happened to be there.
He's on the poster, but if you talk to diehard Knicks fan, they'll be like, "Oh, he dunked on everybody." But that's a conversation. I'm just a little bit biased, but yeah, man.
But Jordan was the greatest. Now, when you got into basketball, now was your father into basketball? Did he lead you down that path or no?
No. My parents didn't play basketball. He didn't play any sports. So again, at all. He was just a worker, you know, trying to make ends meet for his family. Not athletic at all. You know, started smoking cigarettes at 8 years old. This is a different lifestyle back then. Everything was about, you know, hot rod cars in the 70s. But what inspired me was the hip hop culture. You know, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, you know, basketball, hip hop. It was a culture that he never experienced before coming to this country. They thought even in the early 80s and 90s that hip hop was just going to be a fad, almost like the grunge music was, and it was going to die out. And as we see now, man, it's the biggest thing in our culture today. But that was one of the biggest reasons why, you know, I decided when I mean, I had it in mind to interview you for a while, you know, and I was like going down the line of like hip hop legends, comedians, you know, and I wanted, you know, some prominent, you know, people from the sports world, although, you know, you're a non, you know, professional athlete, but you're a professional athlete in terms of, you know, what exactly you do. So in you know, deciding, you know, how I should conduct this interview, it's like you're very much part of the hip hop culture, because basketball in the park, you know, is the same thing as breakdancing in the park. You know what I'm saying? You can't escape the fact that, you know, we grew up in the golden era of hip hop, and we all have our contribution that we add to it. So I salute you. So so basketball. So you went into this. I was reading your discography, and of course I remember the famous commercial. You know, people don't realize, like, this is the dude from the Nike commercial with, you know, the basketball skills, where it just sounds like it's a drum beat, but it's the actual basketball, you know, hitting the floor. You know, so you just walked into that audition. Like, was that one of your first auditions you ever went into? Well, so like, all right, so back into high school, you know, wasn't an All-American. People knew me from playing outside. Main event knew me from dribbling outside. I was like the street ball, doing stuff that nobody's seen before out in the courts. So there was this basketball campaign, and he was with N1. This was a Nike campaign, so he couldn't do it. So he called this boy. This is back 20 years ago, bro. People didn't have cell phones. It was called a home phone, right? Mm-hmm. Unless you probably had the bigger phones, or called it 20 years ago. Technology was in a whole other space.
I still miss my beeper, man.
Oh,
beeper and payphones.
Yeah, man, I really wish they brought that shit back. But he was like, listen, there's this commercial, and they're looking for basketball dribblers, and Lou's the best one. So, you know, try to go to this audition, tell him Rupert sent you. So my boy called me, told him, yo, Main Event's trying to get a hold of you. He don't got your number. So he called me, and this was my best friend.
Now, people know, before you continue, let people know who Main Event is.
Oh, so Main Event, Wally Dixon was the pioneer of that N1 street ball. And N1 they had all those ESPN street ball shows back 15, 20 years ago. him, Ayo, and maybe Hot Sauce were like the leaders in signing all the younger guys, like Professor that we all might know. And he was out of Linden, New Jersey. First guy to jump over a motorcycle in Rucker Park. So he had a big street ball following in Rucker. And if people don't know, 55th in Rucker is the mecca of all basketball.
The quintessential basketball, you know, like, I mean, that's well, like you said, it's the mecca. Like, if you're not a baller until you've actually played at the Rucker.
And for real shit, like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, they all play there. Like, you're not good or you're not at your max of competition unless you played there. And most of those guys never went to college. They're just inner city project kids, but got talent out of the fucking ass. So there we go. So it's never forget the date. March 16th, 2001, right? I asked my dad, I said, listen, we got to go. I took a day off work. And we shot this commercial, but leading into that before, the audition was crazy. Like, I walked into a room with like Speedy Williams, Pee Wee Kirkland, like all these big ball legends that were in this commercial, because they knew. Now look how kind of old it is. It's 20-year anniversary this year with Nike Freestyle. But the dope part about it is they're introducing, and I just found out from Nate Bellamy, who's Michael Jordan's right-hand man, and he hit me up. He's like, Lou, do you know the reason for that commercial 20 years later? I was like, no. He was like, that was the introduction of Nike Basketball domain.
Oh, shit.
Before, there was no NikeBasketball.com. So they were doing a launch with a campaign. So they're looking for.
So, kids, can you imagine the world without internet? Let me put it in perspective.
Oh,
when the internet first started, it took me 3 days to see one titty picture.
I know.
Are you serious? It was like I remember like trying to hide the computer from my mother because it took literally 3 days for a fucking titty picture of like Samantha Fox to pop up. So for the kids that understand, this is pre-internet. The internet is just coming to be. So a company like Nike, and they're launching their actual online presence with this guy, Mr. Trikz.
I had no idea. So we go to the audition. My dad's there. My palms are sweaty. I'm the only white Italian kid in there. White Portuguese Italian. Everybody else is like pros. They had a little fold-out chair and a camcorder. They played a song, had somebody do a couple of tricks, whatever they could do. They called the next number. I was the last person to go. Everybody was clearing out. So comfortable.
Now, talk to me about that process. Like, I mean, I want to know what's going on in your brain as they call your name. I know it's like 20 years ago, but I want all my guests to kind of relive this moment with you, because this is an iconic moment in your life. This is a transition from actually being on the courts doing your thing to now displaying it on the screen.
Yeah, no, 1000%. And I can remember it, even though it was 20 years ago, when something's important in your life and it's changing, you can remember like it was yesterday. So I remember me standing there in my 4X t-shirt, because that was the thing, right? The fucking do-rag, the bandana, everybody wanted to be the 4X, the extra baggy. If the t-shirt had a dingy collar back then, you throw it away. That era. My dad's standing left of me. I'm standing to the right. And I'm watching these guys doing the dribbling. Who else was in the audition that did a lot of Nike stuff too before he got popular in the film? He used to date Rosie Perez, Ramon Rodriguez from Transformers.
Okay.
Played Shia LaBeouf's best friend on Transformers 2. Right? So
I didn't realize he was a baller like that.
You said what?
I said I didn't realize that he was a baller like that.
Yeah, he played ball before, so he was at the audition too. And I'm watching these guys, and I'm saying, man, they're doing a couple of moves, dribbling between the legs, but I'm like, everybody's kind of doing the same basketball moves between the legs, but nothing different. I already knew what I was going to do because I've been practicing in the backyard for fucking ages.
You were like a white Portuguese globetrotter.
Yeah, exactly. So nobody's seen this before. So I'm saying to myself, the room's filling out, and I was nervous. Palms are sweaty. Nobody's in there. So as the room's clearing out, I'm like, okay, there's not too many people in there. It's like me again by myself in my backyard. Just have fun. You know what I mean? Because it was going to be an ad campaign. I just wanted to do it in front of somebody besides my dad telling me to go get a fucking job and stop breaking screen doors. right? So I'm doing the dribbling shit, and all of a sudden, from one Jay-Z song to the next, I went through 4 Jay-Z songs. They're about what, 4 minutes, 12 seconds. So I think I did.
Back then, yeah, it was 4.5 minutes per song practically.
Remember,
Now,
so
now it's like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It's like,
yeah,
what, it's over? What?
it's easy as fuck to make an album now. But yeah, so needless to say, I'm nonstop 13, 14 minutes. All of a sudden they stop. I turn around, the room fills back up. Guys are coming to my dad and be like, yo, what part of Harlem are you guys from? My dad's like, no, we're from Jersey. Jersey? What the fuck is in Jersey? This is before Jersey wasn't on the map for like hoopers. It was like Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx. We're like, what? So we all exchanged numbers.
Right, Jersey, the only thing that was popping was Naughty by Nature and Redman, and then this was like, and that was probably like the era that Joe Buttons, started popping with Pump It Up.
Right. Even before that, the only group, one of my favorites, Lords of the Underground.
Lords of the Underground.
That's it. But nobody really knew they were from Newark, New Jersey. I only figured that shit out probably 5 years ago. That Do It All and then we're from Newark, New Jersey and all that other stuff. But yeah, besides Redman, it really wasn't on the map.
Right, before that, it was Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi, and that was it.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, of course. But so the room fills back up.
So basically, I'm thinking like, well, this is what I'm trying to picture. So just indulge me for a second. So I'm picturing that all the hoopers and ballers that were there at the audition, they know the sound of a ball dribble. And they know the different sounds that a ball makes. So like a musical pattern or a drum machine, it's like, if I'm a musician, if I'm walking through a studio and I hear someone, kicking like an 808 and I'm just like, whoa, I'm like, I hear something I like. So I can only imagine that these ballers and hoopers heard the different patterns of the way the ball was bouncing and the way that you were manipulating it and probably were like, what the fuck is going on in there?
And yo, you know what? As a producer, an artist, I've never been told that to even open my horizon on the musical standpoint, just like to understand. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Or so organically, if you're walking out of something, you all of a sudden hear somebody going, boom, boom, like you're like, whoa, what is he? He's doing? There's a lot of activity going on. So the room filled back up. We all exchanged numbers. I didn't know. I went back to my part-time job the next day. I was working in Athlete's Foot, Woodbridge Mall, New Jersey, selling sneakers. My phone rings. Hey, Louis, so you went to this audition. We booked you for the role. We want to see you in Astoria, Queens on March 16th. I hang up the phone thinking it's my boy throwing a prank. Phone rings again. Shit. Phone rings again. Louis De Silva, Athlete's Foot. How can I help you? Oh, yeah, we just got disconnected. And that's when it started to sink in. They're like, hey, you really booked the role. We'll have a car come pick you up if you want, or do you have anybody who can take you there? I was like, yeah, my dad will take me there. I hung up the phone.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, I wrote some information down. I went in the back. Bruce was the owner at the time.
Shout out.
Jewish guy by the name of Bruce who
ran my fellow Hebrew. Salute.
I love him. But Bruce was cool guy, but it was a weekend. So he needed somebody to work that Saturday. And this was on a Friday. I was like, Bruce, I need to take the day off. He was like, Louis, I can't. You're the best one here. Like, I was like, Bruce, I gotta. If I go, I'm gonna have to quit.
Fuck you, Bruce.
No. Till today, I love Bruce because guess what?
Oh, okay, no, we love you, Bruce. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because
don't worry.
If it wasn't for Bruce saying I couldn't do it, who would have ever thought if I would have took the initiative as a person to be like, you know what, this is an opportunity I can't pass up. So it was a challenge in life. So it was all meant to be. Took the day off, we went to Astoria, Queens. Yeah, so we went to Astoria, Queens. JopauL's in there. Paul Hunter, one of the big film and music directors.
Now, did you go to yourself or did you go with your father?
I went with my dad.
Okay, so that's what I want to know because, to share in the experience with your father is, that's a win all in itself. Like I told this story on one of my other podcasts that, to be able to share it with your parents to, kind of let them know that, okay, I'm all right. Like I can do this and this can actually work. Like, this is the validation that they kind of need. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you went to Astoria.
Because I broke so many screen doors in the past, but I went with my dad. I'm an 18-year-old kid.
Why are you breaking screen doors? I don't get it.
So
because you had a 4x4 backyard, so you didn't have any
So
room.
yeah, and I kept breaking the fucking windows, and I went through so many of them, but now it's paying off. I just keep making a joke because my dad was always, till today, he's busting my balls, but now it's paid off. But he still reminds me.
We got to get you sponsored by a screen door company.
And yo, you know what? That's a good idea, right?
The poster child right here, the screen doors right here. Stop typecasting him like Danny Trejo with just the dude with all the tattoos, and give this guy a serious commercial with
absolutely. Fiberglass screen doors.
Queens with your pops.
So we're in there, and every NBA player at the time that was like this all-stars, right? So Paul Pierce was just coming up, Baron Davis, Vince Carter, Shamika Holdsclaw, even from the WNBA.
Thank God these are all old school players, because I haven't watched basketball in years.
Yeah.
So it's like, but these names I know. So this is great.
Right. So this is like current NBA basketball players then, current WNBA stars then, former Harlem Globetrotters that were famous there. Like everybody who's who was in that one place to do this ad. And I didn't know what they were doing. So it was a big sound stage, as you know, Astoria, Queens, Kaufman Studios. And they had this all, and only the stage lit up. And they were like, okay, guys, we're going to play some music. You just do some dribbling. Whatever you want to do, just do it. So they're doing some stuff, passing the ball back and forth. I go, it's my turn. I'm doing dribbling. I'm passing it. They were like, just keep doing what you're doing. They had Baron Davis, who was a star for Golden State at the time, handing me the passes, and I'm passing it back, and he's passing it back.
Shit.
And I'm sitting there passing it to Baron Davis, and he's like the off-camera dummy passing it back, not knowing what's going on, but they had a vision. And you know what? I look at things as serendipity, right? When an opportunity meets luck. Yeah, I had talent, and was I the best one there?
Yes.
Some like yes. Some like to say yes.
Fuck that.
Listen,
blame it on me. I say it. You the best. Fuck it.
But here's another thing that also helped. Jason Williams, white chocolate, at the time was playing for the Sacramento Kings. He was the first white guy, ball-headed, that was playing like nobody. I was shaved head too. So it was kind of like, for the first time, you're highlighting a white kid who's...
How many tattoos did you have at the time? Were you all...
I had like 3 or 4.
Because I remember seeing the video. You weren't like super tatted up.
No, I had like 3 or 4 before I started looking like Travis Barker.
Yeah, seriously. So go ahead. So now you got these ballers that are basically passing you the ball, doing their little tricks. I mean, I wish I had a basketball just to show you how. The only trick that I could do is basically just spin the ball, on my finger, and that's it.
On the middle finger. It's the best finger to do it.
Right. I could do it on the middle finger. I could like throw it up. I could bounce it off my head, and then I could catch it sometimes. But I jammed and broke my finger one time doing that, so I'll never do it again.
No, it's crazy because leading into after that, like Pee Wee Kirkland came up to me at Pee Wee, and he was like, "Listen, I don't know. I've been playing basketball and I've been seeing hoopers my whole life in Harlem and New York, but I've never seen somebody do the stuff your son's doing." And that's kind of the dopest shit anybody's ever said to my dad, because it's just like, yeah, that's like that right there. I feel like if I didn't make the spot, I achieved my goals. Because I remember the stories with Pee Wee, with the Cadillac, hopping out with 2 bitches and the fur coat, and turned down the NBA because he told the NBA back in the 70s he was making more money selling drugs than he did playing the NBA. Because the NBA back then were only making like $17,000 a month. He said, "I make that shit in the streets."
And make that in then fucking one night.
Yeah, and that was back then when niggas wasn't snitching.
Crazy. So now Pee Wee Kirkland, basically gave some jewels to you, right to your pops, which that's amazing in itself. So take me through the rest of the commercial or the rest of the actual event.
So
because this is getting.
So now, if you're exhausted at 18 years old, we're going on 22 hours of nonstop filming all day, almost the whole day.
I know all about that shit. Me and my brother got casted for Rod Digger's Break Fool video with Flip Mode. There was that song, "See Me on the Block with the Chrome Dot Profit." Yo, me and my brother were there. We were the only 2 white kids in the entire video. So if you go back and see it, like you'll see us. But we were there for 26 hours for like $75. $75.
Yeah, Loving every minute of
It's like
it, though.
slave labor right there. It's like it's crazy.
Right.
But you know, shout out Flipmo, shout out Buster, shout out Rod Digger. I love you all.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I think Busta got an album he's working on.
Yeah, no, Buster just released the album,
Oh, he
Extinction
did?
Level Event 2. That
Oh,
shit is a monster.
Get
A
a-
monster. Like I love Buster. I've been a fan of his since Extinction Level Event 1.
Yeah,
I mean, literally since, you know, Leaders of the New School, Tribe Called Quest.
of course.
I mean, he's just an iconic, you know, figure in hip hop. And I was just having a conversation with my boy Shampoo, who he actually, you know, Busta in the middle of Drink Champs just literally stopped Drink Champs. It was like, yo, Shampoo, yo, you a fucking legend. That shit right there brought it. I mean, he's one of my closest friends, so that shit brought a tear to my eye. I was like, yeah, Busta. I was like, you that motherfucker. I was like, so I love. But yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry, we're getting off track. Let's go.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're taking me back because people, you know, I mean, you're interviewing me, but you're a legend in your own right when it comes to this shit. So no,
I'm just a regular person that got lucky. I just smoke weed with everyone, and all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, we like that kid. So
all of us though. But listen, I'm, you know, 5'11", Portuguese Italian kid from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I should have been in fucking construction, right? I mean, that's just or play soccer.
definitely one of the unions, either that or like, you know, or work in the strip club. You know, one or the other.
I gotta tell you, out of all unions, there's probably one union I wouldn't mind working for today. Get into that fucking pier. That motherfucking pier money is make believe.
Oh shit, yeah. What was the Longshoremen's union, something like that?
That's all my longshoremen. Davon cousin Zeke. Shout out to you, bro. Crane operator. Guys making monopoly.
Shout out to all you guys too. If this podcast don't work, I need a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm a hard worker. I'm a little old right now, but I'm sexy and I can make it fucking work, whatever it fucking is. So,
Amen.
all right, so now you're getting past the ball by these legends. You're doing your thing. They're giving you all your props. Now, after 22 hours, how did it all end?
I go back to my normal life. Don't hear nothing. As you know, commercials, nothing transpires for a while. I'm driving my car 2 months later. Now it's the first game of the NBA Finals for the 76ers versus the Lakers when Allen Iverson stepped over Tyronn Lue, that big famous moment where he stepped over him.
I didn't. I wasn't a fan. Listen, like when people ask me, they're like, yo, you watch basketball? I was like, I'm still waiting for Patrick Ewing to come back. Like I literally, like I'm a sucker. Like listen, I'm a huge UFC, boxing, kickboxing, you know, type of fan, but I have not watched basketball or baseball or even football. I mean, you know, I'm too busy fucking bitches or trying to, you know, saying to, you know, I'm smoking weed with fucking bitches. So I can't even watch sports, you know, because they don't like it. They don't like it.
But the sports, right? Sports now, I feel like there's especially with football, man. I love football, but every 20 seconds they got a new fucking rule or the new penalty rule. Like these players are gonna damn near you can't hit them a certain way. They should be just playing the field.
You want to hear something funny? Listen, as an older gentleman now, I mean, I don't know if other people feel this way too, but it's like when I watch football now and I see them get hit, I'm like, ooh, I'm like, that looked like it fucking hurt. I'm like, I can't, like, I almost cringe, almost like I'm watching ridiculousness where it's like,
yeah.
So, but one of these days, I'm gonna find a female that likes sports and be like, yo, you need to watch this game because you know you'll like this dude. And I'm like, all right, you know. But I'm too busy smoking weed, you know, doing my podcast. But you know, I rely on you and my buddy Scoop B to keep me, you know, posted on everything having to do with basketball. So
hey, not coffee.
Yeah.
Exactly. What is it? Pinkies up. Pinkies up. I guess wind down today, baby.
There you go. Pinkies up. We're not drinking coffee right now. We're drinking Jack.
That's it.
What kind of wine you drinking anyway? I don't know shit about wine, but like I'll pretend like I do.
Oh yeah. No, I'm drinking a Camus. So it's a decent
Very
brand.
nice.
Okay.
Very nice. I have no idea if that's good, but very nice.
It's a good wine. It's a good wine. It's a good
so,
wine.
So you were saying you were in your car and you got and you were driving and got a phone call.
So back then, so there's another street baller who's like a legend, Future, and
okay.
Yeah, you probably heard the name in the city.
Of course, I mean like Future, Skip to My Lou, like, these are all people that I know used to hang out with on the regular.
Right. So he called my cell phone, and I had the flip Nokia at the time, the joints where you get you can have the colorful cases. All the young kids don't even know what that is. Before iPhones, before Samsungs, it was the flip Nokia.
I had the Motorola flip phone. I had that, like, it was like the big joint. Like, literally, it's the only thing that could fit in my pocket. Nothing else could go in my right pocket but my phone that was like this big. There was a video that I did where it's literally like I'm holding a fucking bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And if you didn't pull the antenna up, you're fucked. You had to pull the antenna. Hello?
And you better make sure you call me after 9 because that's when it's free.
Free after
that shit?
Yes.
Yo, the kids don't know what it was like. You really couldn't communicate with people until after 9 p.m. because it used to cost $16 per fucking minute for a fucking cell phone call. Fuck you, fucking millennial motherfuckers.
I know. Generation, what is it? Generation X, Z, Gen Z. All this shit's easy. It's all easy for them.
Fucking crazy, man. Availability.
He
you
called
don't
me.
know what it was like. Beepers and pay phones. 3 fucking days for a fucking titty pic on the on the internet, and a fucking phone that weighed more than fucking some people can bench press.
Yo, you know what's crazy though? Even though we couldn't communicate with people though, like if you was in a relationship or had a girlfriend, cheating was so easy back then.
Facts.
Now,
I mean, I'm not with any of them anymore.
Like girls are smart now. They be like, yo, like we're sharing locations. Bitches know, like you're gonna leave your wallet before your phone. They know where you're at.
Yo, for real, listen. I used to make sure that, like, people were always like, yo, why don't you upgrade your Android phone to an iPhone? I was like, because they got apps that they can fucking track that shit. They're like, but that phone is 5 years old. I'm like, I know, you cannot get GPS on this shit. And then that phone died, so now I'm fucked. So
yeah, no, precisely. That's how it always goes. So he called me. He was like, Future's like, yo, Lou, did you watch it? You made the commercials. And I was like, right there, I felt like, yo, I can't wait. My mindset was saying to myself subconsciously, yo, if I go back to my street ball courts, I'm going to have all the clout because I was in a commercial.
Yeah, you were the man now.
Home. He was like, did you watch it again? I was like, no, I was heading home. He was like, yo, go home and turn the TV on. So I'm heading home. He calls back. He was like, yo, it's fucking crazy. You got a commercial by yourself. That's when everything got slow motion. So not only did Nike put me in their ad, they gave me the solo 30-second spot. And that's when shit hit the fan. The first non-NBA athlete to get own 30, like Jordan didn't even have his own 30-second spot because he had Spike Lee in it. I was the only Nike athlete to have 30 seconds by themselves on the screen. And that shit just, after that, bro, I don't know how people got a hold of my parents' phone because I was living home. I was in Linden, New Jersey at the time. Adidas, Reebok, Fila, every sneaker company trying to sign me to endorsement deal.
You still got connections to them? I need some sneakers.
Shit, I got connections tonight. I got a couple connections. We'll take care of you. But I didn't know which way to go. So I end up like, dude, my mindset was and it's probably, a question you're gonna ask later on, like, what if you had to make any changes in life, what would you do? But I'm thinking now,
we don't ask those questions here. The reason why I don't ask those questions, and I say this on every pod, that's so fucking weird that you said that. See, we are.
Yeah. It's a very.
Yo, can you hear?
All the time.
Can you? I'm so close to you. It's like I'm in Staten Island, right over the bridge. I say on all my podcasts, to regret any decision that you ever made in the past is to not fully appreciate who you are today. So,
well, and then you understand. I'm 18 years old. Now, here's the one thing, and I tell anybody who's watching this that's inspired to be an entertainer or whatever,
become a lawyer. Don't become an entertainer.
Yeah, that too. But if you decide, get somebody that has a little bit of knowledge of the industry. I have my poor parents that had no clue. They didn't fucking know from the right to the left. So I'm making my own decisions at 18, and I wanted to play in the NBA. I turned down Calvin Klein underwear ad during that Nike hype, which would have been the biggest thing. Madonna called me to be the leading man in her commercial. I don't want to be no fucking model. I want to hoop. I turned that down, not knowing and nobody giving me the guidance. Now I look back and be like, that's kind of dumbass decision. But I was 18 years old. I had to go through it. I didn't know, right? So just to show you like I was bigger than Elvis at that time. You got to think. I influenced China to play basketball because before that there was no Yao Mings or nothing. I was on 3,000 billboards all over the world, cover of Time magazine, front page of the Wall Street Journal. Every time out, my commercial aired. When I went to the Nike Foot Locker, I got billboards.
I want to put one thing in perspective for my viewers, and this is 2001, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you realize that cable TV was really just coming into itself, like cable TV? Like, I mean, I know it's hard to fathom now with thousands of commercials and stuff like that, but you know, that was like right within the decade that the explosion of media is coming to you like this.
Yeah.
Also, the birth of MySpace, like interaction, you know, between people was becoming easier and easier. So I can only imagine how, like, you were probably the first viral sensation. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take credit on coining that phrase. So
No,
just in case
you know what?
anyone needs it, you know, I'll license it for a certain fee.
No, for a small fee that should be copywritten, because I think to that right before me that this probably was
Hold on, real quick.
viral thing.
Hold on, I'm just submitting it to the Library of Congress. Sent. Okay, we got it. I own it. Got it.
Love it. I love it.
Hold on.
No, bro.
I think they're dropping off the patent papers. Hold on.
That's it. Patent pending. Patent pending.
Go ahead. So, okay, continue with the story. I'm sorry, we're getting.
Yeah. No. So
Fuck him.
Hey, listen, and I see, you've been drinking that shit chilled too, huh? You have that motherfucker sitting in there.
Yo, listen, during this pandemic, I have learned a couple of things about myself. When I drink it like a slushy, it tastes fucking yummy. I know that sounds fucking corny as shit, but Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
About my dollars. And make sure we have Lewis do the fucking basketball campaign. You know, see how many bottles he can fucking dribble behind the back, throw the ball at me right in the face. Boom. We are viral hit on TikTok right now.
They actually did a couple of basketball campaigns. Lynchburg, holla at us. Lynchburg, Tennessee.
There you go. Yeah. Let's go.
Lynchburg.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. We gotta finish that story because there's so much that I gotta get to. But we'll have a fucking blast. So this is fun.
So we this is leading into all right. So the commercial. So he tells me to go home. You got a commercial by yourself. I go home. I turn the TV on. Boom. Every time out is that 30-second ad. Phones keep ringing. Messages keep coming. I end up calling Main Event, who gave me the opportunity to go there and to go to the audition. And he was like, yo, I knew you were going to kill it. Yo, can I join N1? He was like, bro, trust me, if Nike's calling you, it's a whole new monster. You can leave Nike. Nike ain't going nowhere. And gave me advice, even from somebody who was with N1 at the time. So luckily I took his advice and went with Nike, which was, ultimately a great decision.
That's great that you had him as, like, I don't know. I mean, I know with basketball players, it's like, when one person knows that the other person is better than the other one, there might be like some, like, I don't want to help this kid, but the fact that you had a mentor in him, I've had, as a white Jewish kid from Staten Island coming up in the hip hop game in the mid to late 90s, you can imagine the struggles that I faced, and we didn't have nobody to, that's telling me what to do. Everyone taught you that everyone is out to fuck you. Don't listen to anyone.
I know.
And so it's like, I can respect that completely, that you had somebody like main event, main one. So the fact that, I'm sorry, it's the alcohol. I'm sorry. But Jack Daniels, hollers. It's awesome that you had a mentor that actually knows what the fuck he was doing to kind of give you some guidance. Like, he could have been a dick and been like this, like, nah, you don't need all of that. Like turn them down. You can go to the NBA. And then, like, knowing that might have, like, stopped you right in your track. So that was pretty cool. And gave you some good advice. Yo, shout out, man.
Shout out, man. But I also had a very good, like, my mom and dad were even though they didn't have the knowledge, they were very supportive.
But they were hustlers though, and they had that survival mentality. So they're gonna give you sound advice, you know. And they were still young. They were like 35 when you're 18, you know. So they kind of know the deal of what life has to offer. So it's good that they were able to put that into perspective, and you were able to utilize that, you know. And now you're here with us on the Verified Podcast, baby. I mean, we're not the biggest, but we will be one of these days.
Yeah, I'm coming. We're stepping up. Listen, every time I'm on the podcast, especially yours, brother, if I'm in your presence, I'm winning. I'm winning.
Yo, y'all heard him. Time magazine cover. He don't fucking lie. And if he does, I pay him well to do so.
So it's good. I mean, I love taking these trips down memory lane. So, you know, the commercial comes out. I end up signing a multi-year deal with Nike. I don't know, 12 years. I think I was with Nike, 10, 12 years. Traveled the world, every single country.
That's awesome.
Getting paid to wear sneakers when people are hustling to buy them. I'm getting paid to wear them. I'm giving so many away. Like people ask me how many sneakers you have. I don't even have a large selection. I'm gonna tell you why. I was always a kid that would wear them, or if somebody wanted them more than like I would actually wear them, I would just give them just to see somebody's expression or see them happy. Like I was just always a kid that would want to see other people happy. I'm a giving person.
You're such a humanitarian. Like, I mean, and the funny thing is, it's like you play all these roles as a BAMF, you know, and I that's my little expression, you know, which is a badass motherfucker. But you're a fucking, but I mean, I hate to, you know, destroy like, you know, your credibility out there. You're a fucking sweetheart, you know, like, I mean, like he's
a dog on TV. He's
like one of those people that like when they get in an elevator, like, I mean, like I can picture like a little white old lady, like holding her purse, you know, and then all of a sudden you saying, do you need any help with your groceries, miss? You know, you're a sweetheart. So that's great that you're a humanitarian. So you gave away a whole bunch of sneakers, got to travel the world. What was the most exciting place you ever been to?
Turkey, Istanbul.
Okay.
Fucking great place, dope place. So the city of Istanbul splits between like Catholicism and Muslim nation. But there's so much culture in there. Like, what city divides literally the European, and I'm not trying to get into history, but like European, like Catholic.
We get nerdy on here. It's fine. Listen, Discovery Channel and National Geographic is one of my favorite shows. Get nerdy.
Like Roman Catholics, and then the Muslim nation divides in one city. But the food was great. The nightlife was great.
Be honest. You smashed a lot of shit down while you were over there, right?
You know what though? I went to Turkey a lot of times. Not so much Turkey. I'm gonna tell you where most of the action went down. At Quiet Capio, it was Easter. I never forget. We went to do something out there. I flew out for Easter. Damascus, Syria, was a fucking shit show.
Okay, all right. They get freaky under their little shawls or whatever it's called. I mean, I don't want to get disrespectful, but. Really?
It's wild. It's wild.
No, I mean, I actually hooked up with a girl from Syria, and she fucking wildcat. And she's like, my father would fucking hate you because you're Jewish, but you are fucking tearing this pussy up. So I respect it. Yeah, I respect it.
He's tearing this pussy up. That's all that matters. Listen, and I've been to China a lot. Like China's like you can buy them at forever. Like it used to be like rush hour. Remember you line up all the girls and pick whatever. You could get 10 at a time.
No, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I mean, you usually I'd be lining the girls up and the guy would be choosing. I'd be like, listen, better be fucking ready to do something strange for a little bit of change. Had a nerve for the motherfucking curb. So. But now, I gotta tell you the truth. I'm one of the and I'll put it out there because my face is out there. Name one fucking girl come out somewhere that I've ever paid to do anything sexual, any fucking massage, any lap dance. I've never, ever paid for anything, ever. And I'm so proud of doing so.
Now, when you say pay for anything, is that considered, are you also including not paying for dinners?
No, I wouldn't go that far because I paid for a lot of dinners that I did not get to see, bro.
Here's the thing. If we take a girl out, pay for dinners, go to the club, drinks is hella bread in New York. You're talking about $25 a drink. If you had now the new spot now is the Roxy Hotel in New York.
25. That's fucking cheap. That's like a fucking glass of water in some fucking places.
Oh yeah. So let's say she wants a shot of Casa Azul, right? Tequila. That's an $80, $70, $80 shot. I mean, and some of these girls know how to. So at the end of the day, you're like, yo, I'm still paying for the pussy. Like,
it's so funny. Nori said it. He was like, a bottle of Ace is $500. That's fucking $58 a sip.
yeah,
So
exactly.
and they inflate the bottles, in the club. So, but yes, I understand what you mean by paying, but I've never been, on the buying side of the
John, you
solicitation.
never been a John? Yeah, of
No,
course.
I've never been a John, never been a Trick,
Yeah.
but I know how to work a stable of chicks.
Hey, listen.
I used to roll with some pretty famous pimps. No shit.
Hey, oh, you about to start dropping them gems now? You already
Yeah,
know.
shout out to Iceberg. My
Hey,
dog right there, pimp of all pimps, invented
that's
this gangster fucking pimp rap shit. But anyway, okay, so let's get back to it. So, um, how did it feel transitioning kind of from the athlete side of things to now to Mr. Hollywood?
and that's a very good question, man. I got to tell you the truth. Like, I'm 100% keeping it honest. In the beginning, it was humbling as fuck because at 18 years old, when I first signed with Nike, the first car I ever got in was a limousine. Going to my first hotel was the Ritz-Carlton, and I nothing less than the Ritz-Carlton. So I didn't know. I'm so used to like thinking all hotels look like the Ritz-Carlton when you walk in and the robes in your name and you got fucking snacks for days.
Oh shit,
It's
you thought you was
like
a
that.
bad bitch, didn't you? Okay.
So now, so they treated me like gold. So now I felt like the kid from fucking Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin, because it was a reality check once you start going outside. And now I'm in fold-out chairs in New York, saying next, reading lines by. They didn't care about what I did with Nike. Yeah, it got
Right.
me in audition, but it was humbling because I wasn't as nice as I thought I was because nobody gave a fuck about me.
Right.
So
Now you are on the come up in a whole new scale. It's almost like very similar to my story. And
yeah.
I'm not gonna bore you with my story because it's about you right now.
No, but you know
Indirectly
what?
about, but it is about you. But I could put some relevance and some perspective behind it because one of my first huge breaks was when I was like 18, 19 years old. And I was a dancer for DJ companies, and the owner and we were all friends, and it was kind of like we co-owned it, but like it was like they owned it, and I was like one of the dancers. And my boy Matt did an internship at Teen People magazine, and we did this party in Weehawken, New Jersey. And
Mhm.
so I mean, so Weehawken, it's mostly Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Of
So
course.
so me and my twin brother, we were the dancers for the DJ company. We hosted their alumni, party that they did, and the entertainment director, I think that was her role for Teen People magazine was there. So
Mhm.
me being the arrogant, 18-year-old, not having any direction, I was like, walked up to her, I was like, listen, I'll dance circles around and singing the Backstreet Boys, and I'll wrap Eminem into a birthday gift and send them to you belated. She was like, well, listen, she's like, I discovered NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, so I don't think you can dance better than them. And I was like, yeah. I was like, watch, like an arrogant prick, but like this is like 98, 1997. Like, I mean, this is like, you're supposed to be, kind of hard and to rap, I got to show a little je ne sais quoi about myself. So I did it in the form of, all right, well, I'm gonna show you. Cleared out a whole big circle. I busted out every fucking move. I could like head spins, back flips, fucking windmills, popping, locking, bringing girls on, dancing, reggae, and like every move I could possibly do. And then before the end of the night, she was like, okay, maybe you're a little bit better dancer than them. She's like, how about you rapping? And I gave her my tape. I didn't even rap for her right there. A tape. Like, I mean, for you kids that don't know, it was a tape that you used to have to put into a machine, and you used to have to physically press play on something in order for it to work. So,
Oh, tell me how you used to record two tapes. You needed a dual joint.
listen, you needed the dual thing. You needed to have the fucking microphone. You need to be able to put it to the fucking speaker and then press record. And God forbid anyone made any noise, they were dead. You would kill them, or
Right.
else your recording was fucked. So it's very similar to now. Like, that was very early in my career, but I was very confident. So it's like I was kind of thrown to the wolves, and it's like now I'm amongst the elite. Similar to how that's what the relevance of me bringing it back to you with this story is that now I'm in an industry filled with giants. Past your neighborhood, now they don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. Now it's, yo, we need you to do something for us, unless you're benefiting us, get the fuck out of here. There's a million people just like you until we realize how special you are. So,
That's right.
so now you're reading your lines and kind of feeling humbled that like, yo, I ain't shit, but I am, but they just don't know it yet.
Right. No, it's a fact, bro. It's a fact. Like, getting turned down, like people don't realize, like even as every actor, and I've done 70 films, right? But for everyone you book, bro, you definitely get turned down for 18. But it was humbling for me as an athlete. You always want to be like, okay, it helped me out because listen, if you're playing basketball on the court and you guys lose, all right, you often be like, fuck it, we got next. We're gonna do this again. And that athletic mentality helped me because I didn't care about hearing a no. I'm just gonna try again next time. But it took
that was just like some sucker on the court like this, like, yo, you can't ball. It's like, what? It's like, why?
Why? I tell every actor or inspiring actors watching this, whatever you don't, every audition, even if you don't land, it doesn't mean you're not good. I mean, I had directors and producers tell me I'm perfect for it, but they went a different direction because there's politics and everything, right? So if there's a big agency that has a bigger name or a star, they're going to get 4 or 5 supporting leads to also be on that card because they're getting points and management fees. So then you have to get X'd out. Or height difference. If one lead actor is significantly taller, it won't work. So there's a lot of different things that goes to play, not meaning your performance is good. So moral of this, don't give up, but it is frustrating and it humbled me because for everything I booked, I got denied for like 6 or 7. It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
And they don't give a fuck about, like, you know what? Let me give you one story. So I was in the acting world and, I've done a couple of films. I've done, a bunch of action stuff, which I'm still waiting on my fucking check and I will be seeing you.
Yeah.
I just went to a dark place. Hold on. Okay. Now I'm better. Let me explain to the people the acting process and the audition process. That one, they don't give a flying fuck about you. They're these Rudy Tooty, Harvey Weinstein type of people that really could care less about you. They already make the money. They are of the elite, and they have a job to do. Like, I remember me and my brother going to an audition for some sort of fighting movie. And they made me and my brother fist fight each other, like really fist fight each other. And I'm like, so me and my brother look at each other like this, like we ain't throwing punches. Like, I mean, we'll do like grappling and wrestling, but we'll really do it. But the fact that they were telling us to do that, I was like, wow. I was like, yo, these motherfuckers really could care less about us. So, it is humbling to realize, and this is like after me, Teen People magazine. I'm rolling with fucking Ice-T. I'm performing everywhere. I'm getting paid. I mean, I got fucking bitches working the fucking street. I'm making money, and I'm fucking sitting here trying to fucking, get a role for an extra part, in the background that I'm not even a principal, where I'm making like $100 to sit on. So I'm like, this is bullshit. So
yeah.
So how did you overcome all that? Like, I don't want to say typecasting, but like kind of like, I mean, going through the motions, how'd you beast through it till all of a sudden, boom, you're now that motherfucker walking out, in Fast Five, talking to fucking, my twin brother, Vin Diesel,
Right.
if you don't see the resemblance, I think I'm kind of cuter than him. I mean, maybe I was back a couple of years ago, but, not anymore. But explain to me how you kept the perseverance and the dedication, to make it. I mean, you got that warrior Bushido spirit, that just pulled you through it.
I think a lot of it has to do with, at the end of the day, man, I'm still spiritual too. So I believe, if you believe in something, you have faith. My faith in God puts you in the right situations. But the trials and errors to get there, he'll put you in a situation to be like, you know what, let me see how bad you really want it. How bad you really want it. But when the opportunity comes, prepared for it. I'm prepared for it because I done got denied so many times before. I knew what directors want to see. I knew how to look into a camera. I knew if there's other characters that they're reading with that don't turn your head around. You can make just a small gesture with your eyes and make so much.
No, you a scary motherfucker. I watched your reel. I was like, damn. I hope he's a nice guy. I was like, I hope this is like so great acting, because like I was like, damn, I was like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I was like, he's right over in Elizabeth. If he is one of these fucking badass motherfuckers, I was like, I haven't picked up a gun in fucking years. I was like, I was like, the lock on my door is good, you know, but it's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get in, like the zombies probably couldn't get in, but a few
Yeah,
motherfuckers could, you know.
it's
So,
just
but it's great though, you
well,
know, that you're able to do that.
I take that as a compliment because most of people be like, oh, a lot of those are typecast. I don't care. Listen, a job's a job. I'm not here to be Brad Pitt. I'm here to be, if this is what I'm going to be, I'm going to be the best I can possibly be. I can't worry about everybody else. See,
Get in where you fit it. It's a game of Tetris. You got to fit yourself in.
I think society worries about everyone else and not worried about how JopauL can be the best JopauL, how LUISTRIKZ can be the best, and don't worry about who the fuck cares about anything else to the left of you, to the right of you. We get so consumed in this media-driven society on everybody's doing one thing, I have to do the next thing. I mean, look, even listen, we're not gonna get into politics, but even the fucking election, bro. Now listen to the election. Look how we were all. I mean, everybody's been influencing people to vote. Yo, we've been fucking bullied to vote.
Listen, me and my team, we had to start a movement, but this was like a big movement. I'm friends with the craziest thing is, it's like, I'm not like, and I'm a humble myself. I'm not like super famous. Like I've done a whole bunch. I've been around for a whole bunch of years, but
Yeah.
I'm not like super famous or anything like I mean, if I go into a grocery store in fucking Michigan, like they'll be like, oh, it's Pitbull, you know. So so our movement was hashtag I am the vote, which was started by, Rob Love and Maria Davis, who are the, basically king and queen of hip hop, and it sparked a whole movement with, from Fat Joe to Russell Simmons to Ja Rule. I mean, Rob Love, just to put, just context behind it, he was part of the iconic Def Jam executive marketing team back in the mid 90s, that any of your favorite artists that came through Def Jam, he worked their project. So it's like the fact that I was able to, become a voice for the people that don't really want to watch the news, but they'll watch me for some reason.
Right.
It was a blessing, because I was able to contribute something that, I admit it, I was not woke until about like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And all of a sudden, boom, I gave a shit, because I was on live with Rob Love earlier, and I was saying I never wanted to alienate my fans. Like, okay, if you fuck with Trump, if you fuck with Biden, or back then, if you fuck with Hillary, or if you fuck with Trump, it's like, let me not let you know where I stand, because I don't want to alienate people that could possibly be my fans and buy my shit. But to what extent do I want to sacrifice my morality as a human being?
That's
when
right.
when I know that, and I don't know what side of the political reign you're on, and only because like we won today, is why I'm saying this is, we got a fascist piece of crap, that did not give a fuck about more than half of the country. We let our voices be heard, and I really, and now the fight really starts. I hope that change is upon us, because I don't know about you, but I was like crying for like fucking like 10-15 minutes. I don't know, because it's like I fought so hard, I had so many fights with different people with fucking, who are, just far right. And I got people that I'm in engagement groups with that like are part of the Proud Boys movement, and I'm like I can't fuck with you anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus, it's like, what is going on here? But at the end of the day, I'm a great judge of character, and I'm for humanity. I'm for, like, I've learned a lot about myself during this whole time. And the fact is that I love people, and I can't stand the people that are out to divide us, or to instill hate, or to cause a division. Because at the end of the day, we're all fucking Americans. We're here, and we got to live with each other. Like, there's no reason, for it to be a fucking civil war in any way, shape, or form. We need to get back to empathy. We need to get back to being the people, and the great people that we already were. But we had a big fucking rainy cloud for the last 4 years.
Well, yeah, we come from the strongest nation, but we looked vulnerable from the outside looking in.
How many of your international fans have hit you up like this, like, yo, what the fuck is going on over there? Because
I
I talk to my people, and they're like this. They're like, Like they were laughing at us. Like they
Yeah.
were. I mean, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But they've all hit me up and they've all said like, I mean, plus like I've had the craziest thing was in the past couple of days I've had some real offers from some of the hottest women around the fucking world that I'm friends with to come move in with them. She's like, if he becomes president, you have a place here. I'm like, word.
Lie about it.
Yeah, maybe this isn't such a bad thing. Goodbye. If my father didn't just have heart surgery and didn't need me 5 days a week, then I would have been out. But we won, so I'm sorry, girls, but I will be coming to visit as soon as COVID is over.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Just you wait. You know what? Let me take this time to ask you, how are you doing? Like mentally, holding up with all of this stuff because I've been seeing my timeline, and it looks like Jersey is like acting like it's not even fucking COVID out there. Like their clubs are open. Like
Violent.
I don't understand.
Even a lot of the clubs back in my home city, like everybody's fucking, all the barcodes, the fucking, you think about it. I mean, big shout out to Eddie G, who's doing a great job in my city with all the clubs, but I don't know how people are not getting that tickle in the throat and running a fever. But
my boys at Lookers right now. He was supposed to fucking sign on and fucking surprise you and pop up from you. But so shout out to my boy DJ Doughboy, even though I know
Oh boy, Doe, that's my boy. Shout out Doughboy.
Yeah, that's my brother. Right? That's my brother from another mother, my genius from another penis right there. Yo,
Good
that's
guy.
my dog.
Great DJ. Yeah, I love Doughboy. We go back to Cinderella's.
Yeah, no, that he was gonna jump on. He's literally going from gig to gig tonight, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on, but I might be in transit. I was like, if you could jump on, great. I was like, if not, we'll get you on the next one. He's like, yeah, Trikz, my man. I haven't seen him in so he was gonna be the surprise guest. So so shout out DJ Doughboy. I love you. Make sure you're wearing your pants.
But yeah, people don't know Cinderella's used to be a gentleman's club.
Oh no, they know. They know. They know. They know Cinderella.
Yeah. So that was my spot. That was home base. I mean, I was so bad at one point. I was going in there Thanksgiving night. I mean, it was rough.
I could send you the screenshot of the text message that me and Doughboy were talking where he was telling me about it. He's like, he was a regular Cinderella's, like he was there on Thanksgiving. Bro, it was gonna go down if he would have got on. Shit.
I would walk in Thanksgiving night. I remember with like $1,000 in singles and just let this shit rain out and not even wait to watch the girls and just walk back out. That was like my promo.
That's crazy.
18 years old, you do dumb shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's for. I mean, the crazy thing is like you can go to war for your country at 18 years old, but you can't legally drink. But yet, when you think about it now that we're like men, we think back when we were 18. It's like, how did they give us like trust or responsibility with anything? It's like, I feel like you should stay in the house till you're 21 at least. It's because like from 18 to 21 is when I did my dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Like when I could actually like catch a case and I could actually do time,
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank God for my lawyer. But they did steal my car for fucking like 3 months, and we saw them on the streets running on fucking Chase in my fucking car, my fucking Beretta, with the fucking light on top of it and everything. And I was like, oh my God. And when I got it back, that shit literally died within 3 days of me having it. They put fucking like 60,000 miles on it within 3 months. Fucking bastards. Fucking Giuliani with his forfeiture fucking things. All right. Anyway, back to you being Mr. Hollywood fucking superstar, smashing things down all around the world. Impregnated a couple of Syrian bitches, that are going to contact you now because, I know you were shooting up the nightclubs over there. So anyway, how did it feel when you were on the, this is a good transition. How did it feel when you were on the cover of Time magazine?
So I'm sitting there in Taiwan when that happened. And it was day one of us
getting a lomi massage, weren't you?
Yeah. So we're sitting at the Nike headquarters. There was a big round table, and all the guys are sitting there about, our itinerary, what we're going to do. And they just start handing everyone Time magazines. But the funny part about all this shit, like my joy was dope, but then like, it was weird because it's just like, you're there with your guys, your teammates, and they're not on the cover. I don't know if anybody's been on the cover before, but when you're on the cover, it's like you're excited, but you don't know if somebody else is equally as excited, and you don't know if, like,
right, and you don't know if they've seen it yet. It's like, you kind of like just want to, almost like that scene in with Denzel Washington, American Gangster, when Cuba Gooding Jr. is like handing the magazine as he's Nicky Barnes. It's like, yeah, see me over here. It's like, I was him. Yep, there we go.
it's
There we
it's
go.
like
So
you
you don't know
don't
who's seen you yet.
you don't want to get over gassed because you're like, damn, my boys ain't on the cover of the magazine, and you don't want to look geeked out because then you don't want to get hated on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to see. So it was a
Right. At the end of the day, we all thugs. You know what I'm saying? We got to play it cool, bitch. That ain't nothing,
yeah,
baby.
no, but it was a blessing because now after it's all said and done, now I'm actually sitting back and sometimes I think about it. I'm like, wow, like how many people can actually say they achieve certain things? And I just kept my head down, keep doing. By the time I looked up to take a deeper breath, a breath of fresh air, I'm like, wow, I achieved all this and not even realizing this was the master plan. Not at all. So
That is
definitely,
pretty dope. I mean, not too many people can say that they were on the cover of Time magazine. So that
yeah,
was
it's definitely
now.
a blessing.
So now, do you have like an agent, or do you just operate independently from yourself? Because it's like, it seems weird that you would even really need, I mean, because you're super personable. So it's like, you know, I mean, I'd be pressed to, think that you could probably do this shit completely independent. But do you have an agency that represents you that is trying to like pitch you on different gigs or anything like that?
Actually, brother, that's probably the most bizarre, like a part about all of this. I've never really had a big high-end agency. I was always somehow, some way, whether it was through Actors Access or figuring out through some type of grapevine that there was calls, get in a situation where I'm fighting myself against a CAA or UTA bigger name and booking the role. So I always kind of been a rebel in my own right. No, I don't have an agent, and I feel like agents are a waste of time. They pimp you, they take their percentage, and they don't do fucking dog shit. My personal opinion. I don't need an agent.
There you go. But with that being said, if there are any credible
Please.
agents that actually are not into jamming a 12-foot dildo up my boy's fucking ass,
That's
pause,
12.
pause. With no Vaseline or dinner or
That's
breakfast
intense.
in the morning. How dare you? No, if there's any credible agents out there that really do have a presence in the game and can open up some doors, given his accolades, without really typecasting him as the Danny Trejo fucking, super tatted up from head to toe, needing to
Right.
be the badass. Like, my man can do a fucking, can do a romantic comedy or a love scene. Like,
No,
he don't need to be the badass motherfucker all the time. But if you do got that role and you do got that money, listen, agents, reach out to him, reach out to me, whatever I could do to, help, promote your career,
oh,
as a fellow tri-state homie, and, someone of my generation, someone that I hold in very high regard. And the funny thing is, it's like, we have similar friends, over at this other agency, and we were talking about you the other day.
that's
So
crazy.
it was crazy that you hit me like, and was like, yo, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I hit you up, like, listen, let me know when your schedule's done. And I know COVID has been fucking crazy. But my girl, Wendy and Tina over at Girl PR were like, yo, you need to, hook up with Lewis. I was like, that's my man. I was like,
So
boom, signed up. We ready to go, knocking it out. So let's see, what can we, there's one thing that we have to talk about this before I let you go. So one, I know you got one of the hardest jobs, in the entire world, which is the job of being a father. I know that because my brother, is a parent. Thankfully, I am not. I don't have any kids, although a lot of girls call me daddy, but I don't have. I don't have any children that I know of, except for maybe that one wild summer at Virginia Beach. I was shooting up the club bad.
right.
Shout out my boy Mike G. We were fucking tearing them down out there, fucking bitches in amusement parks, and then on the boardwalk. Like, we was, wow, what the fuck were we doing? Anyway, this totally off topic. So the hardest job that you have is being a father, and
Right.
I know that you're a super creative and and a content creator as well. So when I heard that you write children's books, I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, fuck. I was like, he's not a badass motherfucker. I was like, he just tatted up for no reason. I was like, but he's the softer side of shit. But he'll still pull the gat. Like,
Right.
you want to read this children's book?
Right. Right.
There was an old lady that lived in a shoe.
Right.
Go to sleep. So how'd you get into writing children's books, or how did you how were you inspired to do so?
So when I fly, usually it's my space where I don't usually bring my laptop when I fly for this reason only. I like to stare out the window and just let my mind just kind of let loose, pay attention to the scenery outside. And that's where I get more creative in my writing. So I use it as every time I'm flying, I like to write. And, you know, being a kid, like I was heavyweight. I used to get bullied, like all that fucking shit that now they're considered as epidemic in school systems, right? It's a problem with the bullying and being overweight, but being a little bit
America just took a real big stand against bullying, and with an anti-bully culture, I couldn't believe that he was getting away with this for so fucking long. But go ahead, I'm sorry. Back to
agree, 100%. So most of my writing got done.
I think I need to put my fucking AC on. It's fucking hot. It's Jack Daniels.
It's the Jack. It's slushy. You need another slushy. You need another slushy.
I do. But go ahead. But I still got this. This is a little cold. This is Jack also. It's just this plastic, it freezes and it stays frozen a little bit longer with my ginger ale. So, and plus, it holds more. So this way I have it, so hold on. You guys don't see this. This is off camera.
Right.
Just sounds like I'm peeing. Don't worry about it. I'm not though. So go ahead. I just ran to get a full Jack. Go ahead.
So I just think, being on the plane, of flying, that's kind of like my motivation to write. I knew I had a daughter on the way. This is about 5 years ago. So I wanted to start preparing and stepping outside the box. I always wanted to kind of be an author. I didn't know what kind of author. And I was like, doing children's books is cool. If I could try to tap into a younger audience and trying to influence them to know that, bullying or being overweight or eating right is, there's ways we can kind of change it without being bullied to do so. Playing with the heart.
That's great, because I know that you're coming at the perspective of the underdog, because in a dominated industry of basketball, of people that are 6'5" and over,
Right.
of a darker complexion, to be of your complexion and only like 5'11", you have an underdog perspective. So you're coming at it from like I've been bullied, so these are the things that you need to look for, and it's great that you were able to make it transcend into your writing from your personal experiences to when you're having a daughter.
Listen, I tell everybody like this. I say, we're all authors of our own books, right? When I was in the heyday of playing basketball, that was a chapter. And the hardest part sometimes is switching the chapter over to the next one, because you're like, you don't want to let something go. You get older, you can't compete to that level, that feel like that capacity you feel like you need, or you're an artist and you feel like nobody's really intuitive to your sound like they used to be. It's okay. Your books, every chapter has its own ending, but we're all authors of our own book, and everybody has a different story, and everybody deserves a happy ending of their own book. I'm a firm believer of that.
That's a fact, but you need to work for it, because happiness is not something that can be achieved by laziness, and there are a lot of steps. I make this metaphor on a lot of my podcasts, which I wish I could coin this phrase on like some sort of like Hallmark card, but they say 0.1% of all people in the universe put themselves in position to chase their dreams. 0.1% of that 0.1% actually put themselves in a position to live our dreams. So I like to think that I'm in that 0.1 of 0.1, because I'm loving life. I really have no worries, at all. I'm doing what I love, utilizing the relationships that I've had over the past 20 plus years in hip hop to make something like this easy. And plus, I'm the one being interviewed for 20 years. So now it's like, now I got the camera back on you, so I know exactly what to do. So it's
So
it's a humbling experience to change careers from being a street lyricist, song maker, to now I'm trying to kill the podcast game. So it's like I can relate to you know one different thing to another. It's like you
right,
go from street ball, acting, and now you're a fucking writer.
right. No, I just felt like, you know what? We only get one time around here. Anything you have in your mind and you want to do, I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. You know what I mean? How difficult it is to try to publish a children's book. Well, let me Google it. Let me find out. And I do my own fucking research, bro. It's simple. It's how bad do you want
Thank you, technology. We're going to use that shit now.
you?
How to make a children's book. Boom.
Right, right. But you need to, everybody just needs to apply themselves a little bit. Everybody knows they just don't want to apply themselves.
Exactly. Well, that's why I go back to, what I just said about happiness. It's not something that can be achieved by laziness. So it's like, I know how hard I've worked and all the sacrifices. And yeah, things get dangerous from time to time. And sometimes you make calculated risks for however much you deem that event is important enough to go and risk whatever you're doing. Because let's be honest, I mean, I'm a pretty short guy, I'm of a whiter complexion, and I was in a, industry that was dominated by people of color. So a lot of the places that I went to, my friends weren't always available to come with me. Sometimes I had to roll dolo, you know what I'm saying? But and I'm here. I'm still looking pretty, ain't too much damaging going on. So it's like I'm trying to stand the test of time and just take that next step to whatever the next step might be, in this podcast world. So that's why I was super appreciative that you were allowed me to interview you, because you have so many different perspectives on life and so many things that you've achieved, that it's great that we're able to highlight this shit, because it's like there's only so much you could post about yourself, but it's like now you got me to fucking just boast about you a bit. This motherfucker's the shit. Y'all just crap.
Right, right.
So,
I
so
will
I respect it. Do me a favor, tell all the people where exactly they can find you. I'm not sure where on the screen I'll be pointing to, but look for the blue check. That means he's verified. Drop your name on them so they can know where to find you.
Absolutely. So it's LUISTRikZ, LUISTRIKZ, LUISTRikZ on Instagram. I'm pretty much on all platforms. I'm heavy on the gram. So if you tag me, say you saw me on this podcast, I'll follow you back, guys. Also look out for Soul Searchers TV doc series I'm doing. I'm hosting, directing, and created this show about the stories behind the sneakers. And also got a collaboration T-shirt with Courtsmith, so you can see that on my page and link to my bio. They're $30 shipped, but all the money is the profits that we get. I'm going to show how many people are actually purchased the shirt monthly. It's been on sale for about maybe 4 or 5 days, and then I'm going to roll all the profits right back into charity. So, and I'm going to be transparent with all my buyers.
Look at this guy. This guy's a fucking humanitarian, starts a 501c3, not for profit, giving back to the community. He only looks like a fucking Vatos Locos killer,
Hey,
but he's a sweetheart. Now,
hey,
before I let you go, there is one thing that I like to do with all my guests, which is, now I know you've had a lot of press throughout your career. What's one thing that's not Googleable that you feel was a pivotal kind of turning point, almost like boom, a switch, like, oh shit, like I can't be slinging these rocks no more. I need to be fucking, I need to be working these courts and hustling these people, or like just something that you feel is pivotal that kind of sets you in the motion to where you are right now. Because like I said before, if you regret any decision you made in the past, it's then I fully appreciate who you are today, and I fucking love myself, so I fucking did a fucking good job.
I think something that's not something you can't Google, and I wouldn't say set me off to the right one, but I'm going to leave on a funny note. So I think most people know me from Fast and Furious, and I'm on set there signing engines, signing interior seats of all these scooped up Subarus and Hondas. Known for a franchise, epic movie driving cars. I can't drive stick shift, yo. I've been lying this whole time.
Holy shit! Oh my god, yo, you heard it here.
About cars, yo, and I have to be like I'm low key lying, but I'm just so into this conversation. I don't want to hurt their feelings of their. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, when you drop shift it, and I'm in my mind, I'm drifting the fuck out of this car, but I'm like low key automatic the fuck down. Corvette automatic. I can't even. I can't drive stick.
Oh my God. So not only do you look like a killer and you're a total sweetheart, not only do you play a fucking badass race car driver, but you can't even drive stick shift. Oh, that is priceless. Oh my, yo, that made my night. Oh my God. That made
So
my night.
hey, so I'm coming up to Staten Island. I'm knocking on the door. Yo, when we go and drive stick, yo.
Yo, I'll teach you. But the first car that I learned to drive, like
I gotta get a hoop.
yeah, my father's car when I learned to drive back in 1996 was a fucking 85 Subaru station wagon with a hatchback, and it was a stick shift. So I remember, I had to learn how to drive stick shift because that was the only car that we had. So,
yo, how do you get fellatio in the car by driving stick? Like that shit's got to be a thing.
No, you need to find a road with a certain degree of angle where you could basically throw it in neutral, and there's enough time to hopefully get your nut in before you need to fucking shift gears. Either that, or it's like, listen, baby, if you really want to suck my dick that bad, like I'm gonna pull over and
right.
Like that's it. Like, I mean, listen, there's these and in Jersey, there's those fucking, by the hour motels. So it's, well, I mean, not with COVID and everything, but I don't go out nowhere. So fuck it. But if you want to suck my dick that bad, I'm going to pull over. We don't need to be driving. I'm 40 years old. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's like, let me, I probably won't even get up. I'll be like this. We're going to get fucking arrested. I was like, this is lewd and indecent behavior. I was like, we can't do this. I'm a public figure, but I mean, don't stop. Don't you dare stop. But yeah, Louis, yeah, it was great having you, man. And
so much, bro.
I'd like to give, similar to Drink Champs, anyone with this much longevity in the game deserves his flowers while he's here, because you do still live in a rough area, and bad things happen, but you're protected under Jesus. So
right.
so we good.
Right.
But I like to give people their flowers and give them their proper acknowledgement. Plus, if you become like really, really famous, they'll be coming back to this interview and watching this, and then I get paid off of it, which is good for my pockets. So so thank you, brother. I appreciate it. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to leave us off with a quote, which is my own personal quote. If you ever hear anyone use it, please punch them right in the fucking throat and let them know that they owe me some fucking royalties.
Right.
So we're all here for a small cup of coffee. I'm just trying to drink it while it's still hot. I'm your boy. I am JopauL. We are the Verified Podcast, brought to you by Radio Pushers, Results in No Hype, as well as Major Papers. Make sure you check them out, majorpapers.com. We were just kicking it with LUISTRIKZ, the fucking Prince of fucking Elizabeth, New Jersey. My brother, I salute you. Thank you so much. One love.
Hey, bro, before I get out of here, I need a favor.
Whatever you need, bro. You need to chop a body? I know. I've been watching those forensic shows. I know how to do it.
No. Drop 8 real quick, yo. Just give me 8 bars or something. Give me something like that. Just
8 bars? Let's see. Even though I'm fucking wrecked right now. But yes, you want me to drop some bars. Let me see.
Anything. So everybody
for you.
JP's nice with it.
I got you. All right. Paranormal Ghostly, Benny the Jetly with the rosaries. With this Batman, I'm robbing jokers, be you laughing. I'm warning you bastards, I want to joke with me. Gonna be the most massive of massacres, keep provoking me. Dopency, breathe straight, gas, take a toke of me. Lyrically, fuck up your mind, cocaine, rhyme, poetry. Since the slime slinging dimes you allowed could ever flow with me. My book of rhymes, a crook of mine, 20 years, now they notice me. I should have been a lawyer or a doctor. Chose to be a rapper / mobster. Don't break bread, I break matzah. You not proper, I spot you. Rhyme droppers, you not hot, you not hood, you just good imposters. Go buck. I want all the smoke like the rosters. I ain't high, chilling on my island like Pac is. That's it. Any more, you're gonna have to pay me for
that shit. Love it, bro. Thank you so much, bro.
Hey, listen, thank you, man. I mean, I'm sorry I got a little stumped, and I was like, yo, fuck it, I need to take a pee because I'm fucking. But I see that on Drink Champs, they get a chance to walk and take a pee and edit. So I was like, fuck it, I can do that shit too.
Do it, bro. do it.
So
Hey, man.
my brother, I appreciate you. Whatever you need in the future, like I mean, now we brothers for life. That's it. And what I do need you to send me like a quick video with a little drop saying like, "What up, it's your boy Lewis, chilling with the boy, you know, JopauL, the verified podcast, greatest podcast in the world. I owe all my fame and success to him because he really did everything for me. He taught me how to dribble. He taught me how to fucking drive, stick shift, and everything like that.
Right.
My
Absolutely.
brother, I salute you. You enjoy your night.
All
God
right,
bless.
all right. God bless.
Peace.